Welcome to Daddy's Podcast. Yes, sir. His music coming in.
Yes, sir.
Very special podcast today. I still got my man Lucien Cambric sitting here, Philly, man. What's going on? Here we go.
Action Jackson,
Chicago represent.
Yes,
That's Big Putt.
That's Big Putt. That's Big Putt.
I took over.
I ain't need to get a chance. Oh, this gonna be a long one. I ain't need to get a chance to introduce him. He jumped on there. My man, I like your style. So that's Lil Putt.
Right.
This is my first time on Daddy's Podcast interviewing while it was a dad and son on here together. It's my first time happening like that, man. Definitely. Wow,
baby.
Lil Putt. How you doing, man? Welcome to the podcast,
Thank you for
man.
having me. I appreciate being here, man.
Yes, sir, man. I'm glad you took time out. I heard you was doing a little something earlier. You had a little gig earlier. We was like, is it gonna start on time? But you got here on time. Yes, sir.
Shocked me. You shocked me.
Yes,
You
sir.
shocked me.
I said I got y'all for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Me and my man AFO just came from doing a video for our song Anybody. That we got coming out.
Alright,
So
cool.
it's probably gonna be out by the time the podcast out, you know what I mean?
Alright,
But, we just did the video shoot right before this.
So what was that beat that was just playing? That was one of your songs? What
That's
you
a
just listened to?
that's a song off my Hello Crew the Mixtape album.
Dope album,
Yeah.
too. Dope. I ain't just saying because he's my son. Dope album.
What's the name of it again?
Hello Crew the Mixtape.
Hello Crew the Mixtape.
Uh-huh.
Check that out. Yes, sir.
Yes sir, yes sir. It's
Hey, so what it's like, man, being named after your dad? How's he carrying that same name, Lucien Cambric? How's that?
I like that. I feel like I got the right name, and I really like taking after my dad. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think that I'm a lot like my father, so I feel like me having his name is pretty right. I think I am Lil Putt, for real.
Yes, you are.
That's
You
all.
are.
I remember your dad was Putt Putt. That's what he used to say back in the day.
Putt Putt.
Putt Putt.
Putt
Yeah,
Putt.
you got on it was just Putt.
Yeah.
He just say Putt Putt no more.
Yeah.
Yes, hey, so how is it, man? Cause most of us, we know you from TV.
Right.
We know you from Power. I remember back in the day was Shy, so you know I've been seeing you on TV a lot. What is that process, man? How did you get into that role? How did you come up with those auditions?
Okay.
Figure out you wanna.
So when I first started acting, you wanna know how I first got into it?
Yeah. What's that like?
Well, when I first started, I really wasn't even an actor, for real. Like, I acted, but it wasn't my thing, you know what I mean? My dad pretty much made me go out for my first audition, and I got it. And that's how I ended up. That's how I ended up getting my agent.
Right.
That's how I ended up getting auditions, and it's just been consistent with it. You know, I got my agent back in like 2015. I didn't book the show until maybe 2021, 2020.
Right.
You booked the show the first audition you got.
Right.
No, I'm talking about Power.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
2020, yeah.
2020.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So it took 5 years, and for a lot of people it would take way longer than that, you know.
Yeah, but what was some of the stuff that you had like in between that? Like, what was your journey to get to that?
I had a lot of other stuff. Like I did a couple movies. I did a movie called Holiday Heist. I was like a main character in that.
Okay.
I did another movie, Captive State, but in that movie I was just like, I had a super small role. I came in the room, I yelled like 2 words, and I left. I never even saw it. Like, I never even saw that. I gotta go watch that.
Oh, okay.
That's gonna be crazy seeing that. It's gonna be like, cause I looked so young when I did that. I was probably like, how old?
Like 17.
17.
17.
Yeah.
So was that was before Chicago PD, right?
No,
After Chicago PD.
no, I did Chicago PD twice.
Right.
So one time I did Chicago PD when I was 19. The first time I did it when I was 16.
Right, you were 16. That's me in the Afro. That was the Sanctuary.
Okay.
I remember that one. That was the Sanctuary. That was a dope one there.
Yeah.
That was dope.
Yeah.
That's cool. Hey, so your mom was telling us last time that while you was going through the process, y'all hid it from your dad. He didn't even know what was going on. What was that like, man? How did y'all like when you got the power roll? Pop didn't even know. You know what I'm saying? That's what you was telling me, right? So what made y'all like? How did the family dynamics work with that? What made y'all say, "Nah, we ain't gonna tell Pops"? You know?
So when the power roll first came in, like I wasn't even like thirsty about it. You know what I mean? My mama was way more geeked about it. I get so many roles when the strike isn't on, like when the season is going regularly, how it usually does, the industry. We get so many auditions that you get 100 no's. You know what I mean? Like you'll get so many no's, and it's just like you really don't want to get.
Yes.
Like you really don't want to. When that role came in, I think it was just more about. You know, when you get an idea, you don't want to tell everybody about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you just gotta keep it, let it manifest first before you start involving everyone's energy on it.
Right.
Cause around that time, me and my dad, we used to get into it. Like,
What?
Oh, we have our battles, man. We have our battles.
We the bad guys, though. We
always
good.
Always the bad guys, man.
but my dad used to like he had just. He was sort of pessimistic around that time.
Okay.
I say he got a lot better.
Okay.
But my dad would be like if we get if something to come in, he'll think of the best way that it could turn out, and he'll think of the worst way that it could turn out.
Okay. I see.
And I think like when you getting a new idea, when you want something to start off, you can't consider the worst part, like if it go left, because if you involve that in your mind, then it's a possibility now that it may go left. You know what I mean? So, like I remember when I had got the Holiday Heist audition, and they was contemplating giving me the role. They was like, and this is when I had first started growing my locks, so my hair was like spiky, like it just kind of looked crazy. To other people it looked crazy. To me it looked good.
Yeah.
They was like, yeah, we want to give you the role, but how you feel about cutting your hair? And you know, before we give an answer, I discuss it with my team. My team is my family.
Okay.
So we discuss it, and my dad's like, "So you gonna give up big roles if they don't cut your hair?" And I'm like, yeah, because I gotta stay true to who I am. You know what I mean? That's way more important than getting a role. To me, you know, F a role. Like I could really care less about getting a role because what's for me is gonna be for me. I don't have to change the core of who I am to get to where I want to be. God got a route for me.
Uh-oh.
You know?
Uh-oh.
So it's like if they would have said no, that just wouldn't have been the move for me. There's somebody else out there. It's a bunch of young black kids that can act. Go get one of them.
Young man, how old are you?
23.
Man, you speak like you're about 33. That's awesome.
You just gotta stick to your guns. That's one of the things my dad taught me though. That's one of the things my dad taught me.
Yeah.
Stick to your guns, be yourself. So he was kind of like sometimes he'll battle his own ideology. Like,
You ain't lying.
stuff he taught me, I'm embodying. Like
He embodied it on me, and I'm like, hey, I'm the daddy. I'm just that shit out there. I ain't embodied it on me. You know what I'm saying? But
Yes, sir.
I let him make it. You know, man. He's this dude is man. He got it in control.
Your matriculation of that, what made you say, man, okay, let me listen to my son and stop bringing out the pessimistic and just
Because I got to
support.
let him walk in his shoes. I don't walk in his shoes. And like he said, if it's for him, it's for him.
Okay.
It's what God got for him. And I just sit back, like I tell my wife, sit back, buckle your seatbelt and enjoy the ride.
Yeah.
And that's all we've been doing. Sit back, buckle our seatbelts and let him choose his own destiny.
I think that is just so great what y'all just said. A lot of fathers out here probably need to hear that you have to listen. I mean, I know we are directors and we are the leaders of the home, but you know, sometimes you lead by listening.
It was hard.
Just sit back.
Yeah, it was hard. It was hard, you know what I'm saying? But man, this dude, once he got his mind set on something, that's it. Yeah, that's it. I don't care what you can't, it ain't nothing, it's tunnel vision. And he's always been like that since he was a kid.
Man.
Even in music, because music is that's his love. You know what I'm saying? That's his passion. His first love is music, man. That's, you know, the acting thing was just like I told you the story when we was at the school and seeing him on stage acting. Man, this dude can act too. You know, white looking at each other like, this nigga can act act too. This motherfucker get out.
Yeah.
You know, so it was like, man, he just.
Because honestly, I do remember that, Lil Putt, because, you know, of course, I know your dad. So I remember you when you was little, and I remember this thing behind you was Lil Putt sing, Lil Putt sing. And next thing I know, you on TV. I said, well, wait a minute. I thought he was singing, and now you were acting.
Yeah.
That is awesome, man.
But what my dad was talking about was when I used to do theater back in middle school.
Okay.
Like, it was like 5th grade. 5th grade, I had my first theatrical role.
Okay.
And it was for a play that my teacher, Miss Curley, pretty much made me get in.
Because that was the thing.
Yeah, she made me get in. Each time that actor has knocked on my door, I was like, nah. And somebody of authority was like, nah, you gonna do it. So she had did a little class project, and I had to come in as George Washington. So I dressed up as George Washington. I memorized all my note cards. I had a deck full of note cards. I memorized all of them. I came in dressed as them, and when I gave my presentation, I really acted like George Washington.
Wow. Did you surprise yourself? Was you like, I'm kind of good at this? When did you realize that, man? Or do you feel like you as good as people perceive you to be?
I would say the first time I really felt like, yeah, this acting, this is really for me.
Yeah.
Besides the money of it, because I think like when I would get roles back in like 2015 and stuff like that, acting was always just about money. Like, it was a hustle to me, really. It's just like, you know, when on Jay-Z song when he say, look at these suckers, they think I rap. I'm a hustler. Just so happens I know how to rap.
Yeah.
So it's like really I'm a hustler. Just so happens I know how to act. And if they want to pay me to do that on TV, I could do it. But I think when I first was really like, dang, I really am good at this, is when I really got the power role. And I'm on set, and then I will see myself on TV, and then it's different when you see a scene, and it's like, dang, I killed that.
Yeah, that is awesome. That's a great feeling, man. That is a great feeling. That light bulb go off.
Yeah,
that's a great feeling.
Man, I could really do it. But being on set, being on set, like, I fell in love with it. Like, I didn't really realize I loved acting until I had to do it. You know? The other times I was doing it, it was just like, they just told me to do it, so I'm gonna, you know what I mean? Even though I enjoyed it, but I think the first time I enjoyed every time I'm on set, but I think the first time it really became like, I want to do this for real, was when I got on Power.
Nice.
That's a great time to want to do it for real, as y'all say, for real.
So, you know I'm about to get to my next question, but I just got to give a shout out because I'm a teacher. What's that teacher name again?
Miss Curley.
Miss Curley.
Mrs. Curley.
Appreciate you. Yes. Teachers out there.
Thank
we producing things, people like this. That's awesome.
Yes.
That is awesome.
Yes.
Excellent. And what was that elementary school? What's the name?
Brookwood Middle School.
Brookwood?
Yeah.
Shout out Brookwood.
I think the first play was Annie.
Okay.
And I was Mr. Warbucks or something. Yeah, I was the father.
Okay.
And knew everybody lines. Everybody lines.
Yeah.
That was the crazy part. See, that's the play we talking about.
And
everybody lines.
And
it was crazy.
On 6th grade we did what's the play? Wizard of Oz.
Oh
yeah. And that's when I saw myself on Wizard of Oz, I feel like that's when I realized that I can really act. Like
that's when we really do it.
It's not when I fell in love with it, but it's when I realized. It's when I took note. Like, dang, I can really act.
So what did you see? Like, when you know you're a good actor, what do you see? Is it a feeling? Like, do you really get when they say you get into character? Like, is that like really a thing? Like getting into character? Are you still yourself and you're just doing something, or do you really?
If you are lucky enough to get a role that sort of resonates with your own life, I think it's a lot more easier to act it. Like this D-Mac role.
Okay.
It's a 16-year-old kid from Chicago.
You
know what I mean? Not hard to imitate. I've seen that all my life. You know what I mean? Like, so it's just like, that was easy to act. But I think that when you act a role that really ain't you, then it really is okay, I gotta get in my mode and become something I'm not. You know? Because you really do become something when you're on set, when you're on stage. When you get angry on stage, you really gotta bring it out of you. Like, you really gotta feel that, you know?
Yeah.
But that's when you know you're really an actor. When you can, like you say, be somebody else, when you gotta get into character.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Is it easy to get out of character? Do you find yourself stuck in that role as you're at home taking out the garbage?
Man, I wish he would bring D-Mac in the house. I wish he bring D-Mac home. Bring his little hard-headed ass home.
He's gonna come out. Yeah, but what is that like, man? How is it switching in and out?
For me, it ain't hard at all. I think because one of the most important things that you can do as an actor is know who you are. And I think that I've definitely found myself. I know who I am, and like I really blame it on meditation. Really, like that's what I tell everybody. Like you gotta meditate. Like every single day, consistency. It's not just meditate. It's consistent meditation. Because it's a place within yourself that it's just like love. It's like you just know who you are. You know what I mean? Like it's a deep place of love within yourself, and it never runs out. And it's like no matter how far away you stray from who you really are, once you get back to that inner spot, you know exactly who you are.
Say it, brother.
So
say it, son.
I want to give you 5 again.
Say it, son.
I ain't gonna need to do all that because a lot of 16-year-olds need to realize that. Because I think a lot of us, when we're 16, 17, we don't know who we are. And it take a while to find yourself.
Oh, absolutely.
If nobody ever teach you, you ain't gonna never figure out how many dudes you think will be walking around knowing math if they didn't teach you from day 1 of kindergarten. 2 + 2, 4, counting on your fingers. Like a lot of cats wouldn't walk around. It'll be a rare person that'll know math if nobody taught it to you. You know what I mean? So it's not a rarity. It's just that the education system for black people has its priorities in a place that isn't in our greatest benefit right now. And it's because we don't really control the education system how we should for our community. Because we know that it's important to know yourself growing up in a black community. We know that when one of our kids get killed by another one of our kids. You know what I mean? Like we know that that's important for our kids to know who they are. We know it's important then. But the people that's over the education system, they don't care if it's important. They looking to make money and capitalize and turn people into whatever they want to turn people. They got their own agenda. They don't really care about the community. And that's why it's important for us as I'm not going to call myself a part of the older generation, but I am a part of the young man generation.
Okay.
We got to take the reins of our community and really get to a place where we decide, okay, this is what the kids are going to learn in school.
You are one of the leaders of the next generation. Yes, you are.
Yes, sir.
Man, know that. Take that step. Yes, sir. So as far as being, in the industry, is it any actors that have given you advice? What famous people have you met? You know what you know? Is it somebody like, man, put you to the side? Because I watched the other day. I don't know his real name, but
Tommy and Brandon. And Brandon.
Yeah, Brandon, right? You sent me that shot, and he was like, man, you know, Lucien Cambric is, you know, an excellent kid, and then they kind of cut it off when you was about to ask a question or something.
Oh, yeah, mine cut it off.
Yours cut off when you sent it to me, so I didn't see that part. Yeah, so is anybody that you like to advise? Tell me about some people you met that you probably wouldn't have met being in the business.
Man, I've met so many people just being in the industry, but of course I'm gonna have to tell you people that I've worked with personally because that's who I've had the most personal time with. And I'll say the most famous person that I've had the most personal time with is Joseph Sakura, and he plays Tommy on the show.
Okay. Joseph Sakura. Yeah, shout out. Yeah.
Shout out Joseph Sakura.
Yes, sir, definitely.
Joseph actually really. I feel like he took me in as far as the acting, you know what I mean? He was already used to being on set. He'd have a million things going on. He's just in a different position as far as being on the show than I am. He is the center of the show,
right?
You know? So he has a bigger responsibility. He's been in it longer, and he's been acting his whole life. And so a lot of the tips that he would give me really did help me and I think you can see it in second season. I'm a better actor in the second season than I was in the first.
No doubt.
And I really gotta give my gratitude to Joseph Sakura just for being because he's a real individual, like real and genuine. You know what I mean? You can tell he don't really take no crap. Like if he really don't like you, it's not a secret.
Oh, really?
You know what I mean? And if he like you, it's genuine.
Yeah.
It's not gonna smile in your face. You know what I mean?
Right. He real cool cat when I met him.
Oh, you met him too?
Yeah, I met him.
Oh, okay.
I met the whole cast really. He's down at the premiere, you know. So.
Okay.
Yeah, he's really just to piggyback off of him. Yeah, he's real genuine and down to earth, man.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what you need. It's very rare in that industry.
Yeah.
You know.
Hey man, how's it watching your son on TV, man? What is that like, man? Do your stomach do backflips, man? Your heart beat 100 miles an hour, man? What's that like? Or do you be nervous like, okay, son, do good.
You know, hey, man, it's a blessing, man. You know, it's just, and for him to be on the show, I told you I was a Power fan before he knew anything about it.
Yeah.
I got my wife into it.
Yeah.
We've all been watching it.
No, I was the first. No, you was not.
That's
No,
all
you was not.
Everybody's a clown of all
Me and
y'all.
mommy. You got on it after. You got on it when I put you on it. Don't punt. Stop. Stop.
What happens in the house?
Stop.
I'll bring it to the camera.
Stop. I put you on that. Stop. But it's man, it is just truly beautiful, man. You know, especially it'd be crazy when we be sitting there watching it. And he come from upstairs, he come from downstairs or something. I look at him and I look at the camera like,
Damn TV.
this dude's really on, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's gotta be awesome, man.
So it is,
Congratulations to you,
man. It is.
Awesome.
And I'm so proud of him, man. I'm so proud of this everything. Because he's still on this journey. And it's not been a easy road. It's been a tough road for him, man. You know, but one thing I love about him, man, he put in that work, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he put in work, and I always tell him, stay humble. Stay humble. Keep your same circle of friends that's going to keep you grounded. That's going to tell you when you fucking up. You know what I'm saying? They can read you. You going to listen to them because you've been with these cats for up to amount of years.
Yeah.
You know, you're gonna lose a few along the road.
Yeah.
But your true ones, you're going to know who they are. You know what I'm saying? So, he just keeps that in mind, man. And he just stay grounded and keep hustling. Stay humble and hustle.
Great advice, man. Continue being a good
Man, dude.
Yes,
I love being a
Yes,
dad,
sir.
man.
Yes, sir.
I love it, man.
I want to go back to that word you said, blessing. It's
Blessing.
a blessing, right?
Yes.
Do you feel like the arts, the entertainment, did it help you navigate the streets of Chicago from something negative happening to you, man? How important was the arts and
For sure,
entertainment
like
for?
the having that passion for me always made me feel like I'm living for something. Like
True.
my life, like I always had it in the back of my mind ever since I was a kid. Maybe it's just me. Like maybe it's just a unique situation because I've been performing since I was a kid and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I just always knew like if anybody can make it, I can, for real. Like I can really make it.
Baby.
So it's like
Yes, sir.
when I had got shot back in 2018 and I didn't and I was right in front of the gun and it missed all of the shots that it took. You see what I mean? When I walked away from that, I knew. I was like,
What are you talking about? Did I miss something? You got shot?
yes.
In real life?
Yes.
Yeah.
I got shot back in 2018, like a week before high school graduation. We was all at a party. A4 was sitting right there with me. He was standing right next to me.
You saw it?
The bullets went past me.
Yeah.
Oh my God! I didn't know you got shot.
So yeah, I
You
got
ever been shot, bud?
Yeah, I've been shot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I got hit. I got grazed twice in my leg. I got grazed in my jaw right here. And the experience was like really a spiritual one, just because, when God got His hands on you, it's a timing that only He can perform. That you just know like that was definitely in God's time. Because if I was 1 second too late, 1 inch to this way or 1 inch to that way, I would have lost my whole head. You know what I mean? And it's like, that's God. That's God in every moment. You know?
Wow.
All the time.
So when I lived from that, I was like, after that point, I was sure of it. Like, I think before that, it was a thought in my mind that kind of went like, well, it's a million kids that want to make it, and they all good. You know what I mean? But after I had walked away from that, I was like, yeah, God got me here for something, because I got friends that then got killed. You know what I mean? That stood in the same situation as me and didn't walk away.
Right.
So I knew it wasn't by chance that I'm here. You know what I mean? I'm like, if I walked away from a situation a lot of people don't walk away from. Can't take that for granted.
Right.
So God must got me here for something. And after that, I just knew I was going to make it. So every day I was just like, after I had got my mind back right, I just realized the vision. Like,
He changed. He changed after that. I can say that. He changed. He wasn't going out. He wasn't going out and stuff no more. His focus, he changed. He's like, I'm getting in my lane, I'm going to stay in this lane. He been riding that lane ever since, man.
Wow.
He been riding that lane.
Wow.
So,
I did not know that.
Yeah,
Wow.
I don't,
Man, I'm glad you still
Yeah.
here. Blessings to you,
yeah,
bro.
he scared the dog cow shit out of me.
Man.
You know,
Yeah.
when he called, you know, that's dude. It was. I woke my wife up. She was knocked out, but I knew that he was okay because he called me. They didn't call me.
Who was that?
The hospital.
the people that call you.
You see what I'm saying? The hospital. Now I'm here for one of them calling
You ain't
me.
get the call.
I ain't get the call from them.
Right.
I got the call from
Right.
him.
Right.
While I was running to find somebody
Right.
to take me to the hospital,
Right.
because I got my leg is
Yeah.
bleeding, my face is covered in blood.
Dang.
Right.
Man, that's took me back, man. Wow.
Yeah, man.
And what's so crazy, I had shot a film. I had shot the shot, and I was thinking in my head, because it was a point in that night where I found myself alone in an alley running, like trying to find somebody to take me to the hospital. And so I started thinking to myself like, oh my God, I'm gonna die like Jason. That's the character that I had. That's the character that I had filmed. I was like, oh my God, this can't. I'm thinking in my head like, this can't be my story. Like, how did I get here? You know what I mean?
That? How did I get the character? How did you get that in your real life?
I was gonna say like, nah, I can't go out like that.
Man,
That is awesome.
Not right
Yeah,
now.
I'm so happy for y'all, man.
So having something that you look forward to and have something that you really believe in definitely does, because it just makes the BS unimportant.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? If somebody is bugging up with you or something like that, you ain't got nothing to lose for. You ain't got nothing to lose. Then it's easier to bug back. Like, hey, bro,
Yeah.
who you talking to, man?
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when you got a lot on the line, it's like,
Yeah.
I don't gotta be here. I could be any. It's a big old earth.
Yeah.
I could go over there. Like,
Yeah.
it ain't even that serious.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a bunch of other stuff to think about that. You know what I mean? That I ain't gotta be involved in. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Listen to that mindset. It's like, you know, a lot of us don't know it's much bigger than Chicago. Like, to some kids, Chicago is everything.
Is it because they ain't never been nowhere else?
No,
They
that
never
okay,
been
I
nowhere
could be
else.
in Atlanta doing this, you know, it's like this everywhere.
It's opportunity everywhere, man.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
These
It's
kids.
a big world.
Yeah, man.
It's people out here that ain't never spoke English.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's people out here, like,
Yeah.
all the stuff that we consider news, they know nothing about.
Nothing about it.
Yeah.
Our athletes are
Yeah.
everything,
Yes.
like, it's foreign to them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, this is not the place to lose your mind. You know what I mean? It's a
Hey,
big
man,
world.
I wish a lot of these kids, the youth, thought like you did. You know, they just. My wife always say with the meditation that helps, and it does because I meditate. But these kids are just so damn angry. They're so damn angry.
They got a right to be angry though. I mean, they got a society that failed them.
Okay,
They got that alone is enough to
but
be.
they take it out on each other though.
I mean, when you got a lot of misguided anger, then it's gonna be chaotic.
Mm.
You ain't got no order and no organization. You ain't got nobody controlling the energy of the kids, raising them. Then of course you put any group of people, I don't care if they black, white, Polish, Arabian, whatever, human beings. You put any group of human beings in an area, you lack their access to resources, so you control their access to resources, you underfund them basically. You undereducate them. You take away all the routes to take care of themselves. You make them totally dependent on you, and then you make them poor. People live paycheck to paycheck, and they think that's living. That's not living. You get a check. You work your whole week, all your time you work. You get a check. You pay your bills. You get what you need, and then after that. Is the next time they get paid, you done spent all your money. You ain't got no money to do nothing that you want. And all your time is gone. So it's either that, some kids see that and it's like, y'all want me to do that? That's the right route? When I could get in the streets and make money and woo-woo. And the streets is out of order. And it's been out of order since they killed all of our leaders in the 70s. It was a setup.
Yeah, the rebel finna talk, baby. Y'all finna get the rebel. Y'all finna get the rebel talking, baby.
It was a setup.
Y'all finna get the rebel talking.
Power to the people.
I love it, little brother. Hey, so what you saying that, man? Hey, I heard you took advantage of a blessing when you was shot. You took advantage of a blessing. Yes. I heard you say you got 100 no's. So to me, the word that resonates with me is resilience.
Yes.
So with you taking advantage of blessings, when you are resilient enough to hear no's that probably will make you angry enough to deal with stupid stuff that you shouldn't have to deal with, what is it advice that you would give to kids coming up through this undereducated, not living but surviving type of society that we have on the south side of Chicago?
Every day when you wake up, meditate.
Yeah.
Okay, really? Meditate.
Because there is a place in your own heart that is so calm and pure. Like, you know how when you get into an argument with somebody, even after that argument, when you're by yourself, you spend time going over it. Like, you go over what you said, you repeat it a couple of times, you even come up with new stuff. You find new problems in the argument that they presented to you. You know, the argument state, like, it's like when you hit a bell, the bell is the action, but that ring,
that vibration,
it rings out and it lasts. If you can make something bad ring, you can definitely make something good ring. And I think that if you start off with that good ring in the morning, you're less likely to be attractive to BS. BS is going to be less attractive to you. So even little stuff like you started the day off on the right note. You may be walking down the street and ready to turn a corner and the street just don't look right to you. You like, nah, something not right about that. And you go on your path. Had you started the day off on a bad note, you would have went down that bad street, something bad would have happened, and you would have said after it was over, man, I knew I shouldn't have went down that street. You see what I mean? I knew it, I just did it.
Yeah.
But it's just like you gotta start off high. Because you start off high and you give yourself the chance to get different ideas when you're just in a higher place of thinking. Yeah, I'm trying not to use vibration and frequency because I want to explain it in a way that regular people get it. You know what I mean? Like, vibration and frequency is something that my mama will understand and other people that I tapped into it would understand, but regular people, this applies. You know what I mean? The mood that you're in definitely has an impact on the ideas that you think, the routes that you take in life, everything.
Yeah.
You may discover that you're good at something just because you was in a good mood and somebody asked you like, hey, come over here and do this. And if you was in a bad mood, you would have been like, nah, come on, bro.
Yeah.
If you was in a good mood, you was like, I bet. Yeah. Come on, let me check it out.
Yeah.
You feel?
That's true. So what does meditation look like? So do you get up in the morning? Do you go sit in a certain area for a certain amount of time? You listen, or is it just quiet? What does meditation look like?
Meditation look like going inside of yourself. First of all, the first parts of meditation that you're going to have to do when you first get into it, you're going to have to go within yourself. You got to think about the inner self is like a world, just like this one. You're somewhere in it. And you got to realize, like, the place that you're in by your emotions. I don't know, like, you got to it's hard to, it just takes consistency. Like, you got to eventually get to that place within yourself that's calm. And that's love.
Okay.
But when you go meditate, you want to sit upright, sit straight up.
Okay.
You know, be in a quiet place,
Okay.
like you said.
Okay.
And
So
man,
more like a bedroom?
be in
or like
a bedroom, no TV. You know what? Some people have.
If you
music
master,
playing,
if you haven't mastered it yet, then you definitely need some peace and quiet or some beats, some meditation beats or something like that. But after you master it, you'll be able to meditate anywhere on command.
Yeah, he meditates. Him and my wife meditation real hard.
That's called unconditional focus. And that is something that is a state that you have to attain. It's not something that you're just born with. It's something that you learn.
Right.
And my goal eventually is to teach the younger generation what I learned as a 20-year-old. What I want to teach them at 7 in kindergarten, so that they can just come in and understand it. So it'll naturally be a different world one day.
Right,
No matter the circumstances that our kids are in, they'll find a solution because the solution is
It's in them.
yes.
There you go.
Yes.
Yes,
There you
sir.
go.
Meditate.
There you go, baby.
Meditate.
Meditation.
Do.
Meditation.
Great advice.
Yeah.
You heard it here first.
Great advice. Little Putt told you.
Can't say I didn't tell you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So one of the things I like to do was on Daddy's podcast, shout out daddies, man. Shout out father figures.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Your
Yes, sir.
dad is right here, but you know, just what is it that you learned from the father? Who are the father figures, and what did you learn from that you thought was a great characteristic from that man that you really?
Greatest father figure is my dad.
Sir.
Of course. I think I learned how to be a man. I learned a lot. I learned so much from my dad. I learned how to be a man. I learned how to stay focused. I learned a lot of discipline from my father that I think that a lot of other people, a lot of other of my peers didn't get the opportunity to get. Like my dad helped me out. If I ever had a problem with somebody, I would always ask my dad, like, Dad, what would you do?
Yeah.
He'd tell me.
Yeah.
And sometimes I took his advice, sometimes I didn't. But it was just like having that right there. That was that's my greatest father figure, my dad. I love you.
I love you too, man. I love you
Daddy's
too, baby.
podcast, that's right.
I love you
Ain't
too.
nothing wrong with telling your parents and kids you love them. That is awesome. Got a
But
special handshake?
that's his thing. But another father figure that I got to shout out at one point was Mello. He was a producer that I had when I was young.
In Atlanta, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
He taught me a lot. Like he taught me everything I know with the studio. I sit in the studio now by myself, but the art of recording and even just that.
Yeah, shout out to Mello. Mello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He taught me chivalry. My dad isn't the most chivalrous.
Nah, wait a minute.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Mello taught me like, I remember one time we was sitting this is when he first had said to me, cause Mello was around when a lot of people was around, like, I guess, like, it'd be like women around or something like that. And he'd like tell me how to talk to him afterwards, like.
Oh, okay.
He had all the strippers. He had all the strippers.
Okay.
I was too young to know if they were strippers or not. I can't confirm.
Well, he was too young, but I knew that they were strippers. He was in the. Oh, I gotta tell this story. I gotta tell this story. So we down there. We in Atlanta. He's down there recording. So I'm sitting outside. Now, the car pull up, about 6 girls get out the car, going inside. But inside this warehouse is like 8, 9 different studios. So I didn't know where they went. I'm just like, oh, they're not going in there with Mello, is that? Because he was like, how old was you at the time?
I was recording with Mello since I was like 10 to
10.
like 12.
So let's just say, he was about,
I was like
9
9 to like 13.
He's about 10, 11, something like that. So I go in the studio, lo and behold, all the girls is in there. I said, shit. Man, he in the booth. Look, so Mello, he starts singing. These jokers get up and start twerking. When they start twerking and pop, like, he in there like, I said, hold on, wait, stop. I said, no, we can't do this to my son, man. He's too young, man. You can't do this, man. You gotta send him home, man. You gotta get him up out of here.
Right.
But I could see him teaching him chivalry because he was around the girls like that. But it was a fun experience though, man. He was young, but like I said, he been around this man for a long time. So, that's why humble. Yeah. You gotta stay humble. You gotta stay humble, dog. You gotta stay humble.
That's cool.
Stay humble. Don't let nobody take advantage of you. You know that.
Yeah. My dad taught me not to take no stuff. My dad taught me how to hustle. I feel like that really make or break everything in this world right now. It's like your ability to hustle. My dad, that's the most valuable thing that I feel like that I could think of right now that my dad taught me was how to hustle. Like just by watching him. Like he never taught me with his words. Like he never sat me down and taught me how to hustle. It was just growing up watching him. Yeah. And then getting older and thinking back on stuff and remembering and then hearing stories and putting two and two together. You know what I mean? Like all of that really taught me. Taught me how to do business, really. Like, that's why I feel like I'm so equipped for the industry that I'm in, because everything that I learned, I apply now.
Mm-hmm. See, I want to clear it up when he was talking about hustling. He was talking about hustling in life, just, not he wasn't selling anything. Right. Just hustling and just getting him prepared for life, just navigating his way through life, man, like he been doing. Yeah. So that's the beauty of my baby, man.
So what's the next hustle, man? Cause
shows.
Shows.
Yeah. Baby. So the next hustle of shows, basically, I'm getting a band together, and what I want to do is I really want to put on a great show, and if I feel like if I can put on a great show with a live band, that'll be something different that would bring the audience in. You know what I mean? And if I could just start selling out places that I rent on my own, then I could see the dividends back. You know what I mean? Like, so it's basically like, how do you take music and sell it? Well, you gotta sell out a show. Cause streams is only gonna give you so much. Like streams not gonna give you enough, really do nothing. But if you can sell out a good show, it don't matter if these people are fans or not. They bought a ticket. They're clientele. You see,
they gotta be fans if they bought tickets. You know that.
The fans for sure. Like, of course, they're fans for sure. If you throw a good show, then they're gonna come back. But fans buy, like, if they become a fan of you, then they're more likely to buy your merch and buy all of that stuff.
Well, when you do all that, I know it's coming up. We're gonna have to get you back down here and get you on the stage, and
for sure.
Cause you see, we got all the utensils and stuff.
Oh, you know that. Blue 26. I'm on definitely going to
you know what I'm saying?
I know that though.
So we have to get you back down here, you and your band, and get you back on the podcast, and you and the band, and y'all flavor it on up, and man,
Blue 26 Studios. Shout out Blue 26 Studios, man. Shout out to Blue Band. I love this studio. This is their set.
Definitely.
Yes, man.
Yeah, that is awesome. So is it like R&B? What sing? What type of is it?
That I do?
Genre, music.
I'm a very diverse artist. Okay. Me and all my homies are. Like, we can rap, sing. Okay. I rap, I sing, I write, I produce. I make all the beats. Like, I don't make all the beats for all of my mixtapes. On Hello Crew mixtape, I only made 3 beats. Okay. Yeah. Everything else was Nolan and a couple YouTube beats. But on the Wood tape and on this tape that I'm finna drop, I made all of that. Like, everything.
Well, I mean, he always told me, why don't you give us a little something that, you can sing, Sing us a little something, man. Let them.
Daddy podcast, Daddy said, sing something.
I'm not to charge you for that.
That's okay.
What you teaching? Did you
hustling? You know what I'm saying? He hustling right there.
Hey, little pup, man. Hey, man, the mic yours, man. I don't really have to understand. What you want to leave the crowd with? Is it a song? You want to leave a message with the world? What you want to do?
I didn't have a song. I really, for real, I really didn't have a song to come through with.
No,
if I was going to sing something, I would have wanted to do it right. Like,
my man. Yes, sir.
So maybe I can come back on here and do a show for the podcast.
Hey, man, we love to have you back, man. Yes, sir.
I'm gonna repay you back, because I really appreciate you having me on here.
I appreciate you coming, man. Thanks for taking out the time.
If I wanted to lead an audience with anything, it'll be everything is possible.
Always.
All the time.
Always.
And life is really what you make it. And if you got the power to focus your mind into the right place, I promise you life will follow. Just stay consistent with it. It starts off in the mind, though.
Consistency, baby.
Yes, sir.
It ain't no amount of action that's gonna replace having a positive mindset. You could work hard your whole life, but if your mind not in the right mindset, your dreams will never come to pass.
Man, well said. Well said.
I don't know how you follow that up.
Man,
I don't know how you follow it up.
man, I don't.
You know,
I say goodbye to the
Man.
people. I hope they take that message with them.
God bless you. Thank you for coming
Man.
out. Daddy's podcast, baby.